for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Welcome, everyone. Thanks for being available tonight. Can I go ahead and just go around the table for the members that are here?
Don Alexander.
David Vogt.
Bernie Kraus.
Julie Johnson.
Bill Zolper, Town Manager.
Thanks for being here as well, Bill. And we've got Dan Kinney from Mitchell Titus on Zoom to answer any questions if we have any. The first item on the agenda is to adopt the agenda. Anyone want to make a motion to adopt the agenda?
Motion.
I'll second it.
Okay. All in favor? Aye. I was just discussing with Bernie right before we got started that I couldn't find the minutes that he gave me back before our July meeting, so we're going to pass that item for now, and we'll hit it on the next audit committee meeting, whenever that is. So the next item is to discuss and possibly vote to recommend an auditing firm to the town commissioners. As you all are aware, we Dan Kinney, our fearless leader up there for the audit, had left Cone Resnick, and Cone Resnick elected not to continue the contract with the town. So an RFP was put out by the town with a deadline of this past Friday, the 10th of March. And Mitchell Titus is the only firm that has bid on it. I sent it out Monday, I guess, for y'all to peruse, to take a look at. Does anybody, since we have Dan here, does anybody have any questions for Dan?
Nitpicking, but why did you include Dewey Beach Delaware in your resume here?
I don't, are you there, Dan?
Yeah, I'm sorry, what was the question?
No, I said,
was-
why did you include Dewey Beach in your resume?
Fair point. Fair point.
Oh, we know it, so that's good.
That's good, that's good. It was a test to see if you read it.
Right. So I think that the only question I really have, Dan, and you, is just with regard to the fees, because they are more than what we had with the contract under Cone Resnick. So I think just for anyone who's watching's edification, as well as the committee members, if you could just kind of let us know, like kind of how that kind of transpired.
Sure, so good evening, everyone. Thanks for inviting me. So the fees are on page 27. It goes through, a 5-year estimate based on the RFP requirements, and fees, the way they're derived is based on really the level of effort that is required to perform the audit, and the anticipated level of effort required to perform the audit, in considering future changes with respect to auditing pronouncements that are out there, accounting pronouncements. So there's a lot that goes into it, and the level of effort to get your audit done is basically how the fee was derived. And since I do have the experience with the amount of time it does take to do the audit, that's how the fee was derived. And as you guys have probably seen in the past year and a half, there are fees that have increased. Well, maybe you don't know, but in the accounting industry, fees are really going up everywhere for all types of work, not-for-profits, governments, whatever it is, because of lack of resources, et cetera, et cetera. So it's, it's a combination of knowing what it takes to do your audit, to do it properly in accordance with the standards, and, the industry environment that we're in, and then anticipated future changes. And I can tell you, I am looking forward to working with you guys again. I feel very confident with the team that I have, and the folks that are on a job. And I can guarantee that you will like them, enjoy working with them, and it's a very, very good group.
That was actually my next question, was because obviously it's a different team now,
Yep.
that you switched firms. Can you tell us a little bit about the team?
Sure. The concurring partner is a gentleman named Paul Garrity, who used to work with me at Resnick many years ago. He worked at Resnick for about 5 years, left Resnick, and then went to KPMG and became a partner there for over 20 years, and has retired from KPMG. And he's a partner now at Mitchell and Titus. He'll be the concurring partner. He's also a resident of Rehoboth Beach. So with that, I'm pleased to say that you'll get even more attention. Just one, because he's local. Not that you didn't receive attention from your previous firm, but you will get even more attention. So he's on the team. Another technical advisor that we have is Stephen Beloga. He's a retired E&Y partner. Very, very good. He's excellent. He has a tremendous amount of experience. So, not only with Paul, but I have Stephen Beloga to help with either concurring review or single audit questions or fund balance questions, or whatever you guys need to help. And then we have Venkana, the manager. Very good. He works on a number of municipalities, and also at his previous firm he did as well. So I'm pretty excited about the team, and I really think like we can really help you guys and continue to keep Dewey Beach, hopefully working with management and their team, keep them on time, and whatever issues arise, as your independent auditor, I have to take all the information in. So if it's something that might be unpleasant, it is what it is. And I'm not afraid to, call out whatever issues that have to be called out in accordance with the standards. Whatever comes up and whatever I have to look into, that's what I'll do. And that's what I've done with my previous employer.
Great. Any committee members have any other questions for Dan? Sheena, do you have any questions for Dan? Phil?
I have a question for Dan. Hi, Dan. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. When I'm looking on page 27 at the single audit, assuming only one major program each year, that's an additional $10,000. What exactly is that?
So, if you received any federal awards in the current year, and if you expended over $750,000, you are required to have a single audit. And depending on the number or the dollar amount of federal expenditures and the number of federal programs that you've received dollars for and have spent those dollars in excess of $750,000, that defines what a major program is. So you will prepare a CFA, it's called the Schedule of Expenditure of Federal Awards. You and your team will prepare that. You'll know what CFDA number you received the money under and how much you've spent. So if you've gotten, more than one program, then that's how it'll be tested. You'll have to test another program if it's over a certain dollar amount. And there's very specific requirements as to what the auditor has to test to determine whether something is a major program. So this just assumes one major program. And then if you go down, you'll look at the paragraph. It says if there's another program, if somehow you end up being two major programs that are selected, then it would be $8,000 for each program. So, and I don't know, Bill, if you know what federal dollars you've received and expended in the current year, and you don't have to answer that now, but that's what it'll be based on.
Yeah, thanks, Dan. So if we didn't have any federal programs where we received that amount, it would not be $62,640, it'd be $52,640. Is that correct?
That's correct. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
Gary, I see you're on Zoom as well. Do you have any questions?
Well, yeah, I mean, that was my only issue. I raised this issue with single audit with Sheena earlier this afternoon, and the information you gave back to me, it sounds like we're not anywhere near the $750,000 expenditure level.
Okay, great.
I mean, that's my understanding, and but that obviously has to be nailed down specifically.
Is that correct, Sheena?
As far as I know.
Okay. We would hope you would know. Okay, great. Anyone else questions? Okay. Do we have, I don't see anybody in the public, Kate. Do we have anybody in the waiting room? No. Okay. So, since there are no public comments, any comments from the committee members? Okay. I mean, in my mind, it seems pretty straightforward. We've enjoyed our relationship with Dan in the past. I think, obviously the price hits everybody like, ooh, that's more. But I can understand, I mean, everything's gone up in the last couple of years, right? So it's not really surprising that.
Has it gone up substantially or percentage-wise?
Sheena, do you remember what the, or
So then
Bill,
the
do you remember?
30s Last year, it was 31,990.
Okay,
I budgeted 45,000,
okay.
so it's only a difference of about 8,000. So,
Something we can absorb.
yes, ma'am.
Okay, great. So, but yeah, I mean, I think, like I said, I think,
Well, I think when they came in too, Dan's familiar with what we had to go through
yeah.
the last go around. And I think it's nice to keep the consistency. He knows what the problems are, what he's done so far. And I think it's good just to continue on with somebody who's aware of the situation.
Anyone else, any comments?
I agree.
I agree, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Well then, we're gonna go ahead and, Dan, if you want to go, but you can stick around for our vote. But I think you already know which way this is headed. Do I have a
I'll
motion?
stop my video and I'll go on mute, but I will listen. But
Okay.
thank you, everyone. Appreciate it. If you have any other questions, feel free to go through Julie and or management and ask me. So anyway, thank you.
Thanks, Dan. Appreciate you being here tonight.
Yep.
I guess I need to I guess I didn't really officially close public comments. I'm going to officially close public comments. And do I have a motion to recommend or not recommend the auditors to the commissioners?
Recommend.
Second.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. So we are unanimous. So this is probably one of the quickest meetings I've ever had as far as.
Could I make two comments? So based on the last audit we had, they had some findings. I just want to update the committee on what those findings are and where we have progressed. So in the fund balance policy, we're working very hard with Commissioner Persinger and with the last audit firm to get our fund policy up to where it should be, including our rainy day and some other funding. It's been going extremely well. I'd like to thank Commissioner Persinger for his continued help, and it's reflected in this year's budget that was passed last Friday. On the IT part, we continue to work with SecureNet to update and increase our IT security for the town. This is a work in progress, and we will be briefing maybe in executive session, we're not sure yet, in April on the updates for our IT, because we don't want to put that out to everybody where we do have some weaknesses that we are addressing. So I just wanted to let you know that. And also on the January 16th meeting, at 16 minutes and 32 seconds, I did let the commissioners know that we would be putting this out to bid because Cohen Resnick had contacted me, letting me know that they no longer had the ability to do a small municipality at their firm.
Okay, great, I appreciate that. Kate or Bill, when is the next commissioners meeting?
It's April 21st.
Okay, so can you guys just make sure I'm on the agenda, because I guess I have to officially recommend to the town
Yep, sure.
to do that. I have a motion to adjourn. Favor. Okay, well, thanks, guys. This was six.
I see what you're saying.